Welcome gamers to the last review of the mini set. I don't remember what this is called, something about a travel agency. I've looked at every other card before, I think like this one and onwards, if that's a real sentence. I'm just gonna go through them and see what the rest of the mini set looks like. So far, the only card I truly think is gonna make like a huge impact is this card and the other tourist. The other cards in this set, I'm just not really sure like if they're gonna make any impact. Maybe I'm completely wrong and I just don't know anything about this game. A lot of YouTube comments will say I'm pretty stupid, so that probably adds up. Let's continue down the path with Monkey Business. 4 mana, add 8 bananas to your hand. Any that can't fit are randomly fed to friendly minions in play. I mean, I feel like this is so bad. The problem with this is like, if you have no minions in hand, you're spending 4 mana to get a bunch of +1/+1s, and that sounds really awful. I guess if your hand's really full and you have 1 minion on board, you could do like an absolute huge wombo combo. I don't see it. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm not going to be messing around with any Monkey Business today. I'm pretty sure this is horrible. Please let me know if you have a combo for this, because I don't see it at all. Infernal Stapler. 3 mana 3/3 after your hero attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. Okay, so the thing that comes to my mind, there's a weapon in Rosticon's Rumble that was a 1 mana 2/2 that dealt 5 damage when you equipped it. That card saw 0 play. The only real benefit of this card is that Demon Hunter, I believe Priest, or wait, does Demon Hunter get to use Priest cards? Or is it Hunter that gets to use Priest cards? I think it's Demon Hunter, right? Demon Hunter has Acupuncture. Yeah. So Demon Hunter with that kind of play pattern that Priest was going for, like dealing damage to yourself, could be okay. There's actually a lot of interesting synergies you could do with Infernal Stapler. It's just the only question is, do I really want to do 9 damage to myself for 3 mana? I guess I'm also dealing 9. So it is a pretty symmetrical effect, and I don't know, I can point where the damage is. I'm not a Demon Hunter guy. I don't know if this is very good. I think it really comes down to the synergy of the Priest cards with Demon Hunter. I think that's what it's going to come down to. I don't see it. Maybe in Arena it's fine. I just feel like the damage you're taking here is very, very, it has to be at like a pretty big tempo swing, I think, for you to want to play this. Demonic Deal. 2 mana, lifesteal, deal 4 damage to a minion, put a random demon that costs 5 or more on the top of your deck. This is the Fell card. So like, just like the other card, this card really synergizes with the Priest ones. There is a couple of cards in the Priest set this time that allow you to like discount the top card of your deck to 1. So if you know what your next minion's gonna be, that could be really good to synergize with. Also, 2 mana, lifesteal, deal 4 damage to a minion feels so strong. Because like Drain Soul is 2 mana, deal 3, and that card saw a bunch of play in Warlock. This is just 2 mana, deal 4. Fucking Demon Hunter, man. Every card they get is just better. I hate this class. I mean, if you're playing any slow Demon Hunter deck, I can't imagine this card not being. I guess you're at the trade-off of like putting a random demon at the top could be really bad in the early game, but if you have the synergy with this, I think this is just a pretty great card. Also, I like the flavor of this card. I think it's pretty good. I will say for the set, like, I'm not sure the power level of a lot of these cards, but the set, like, the flavor is awesome. Really, really cool. Spirit Peddler, 6 mana, 6/6 rush. Death Rattle, reduce the cost of a random minion in your hand by 6. Thanks, I hate it. I don't think the card's very good. My major issue is there's a card in Whizbang's Workshop, the Window Shopper, that allows you to get a random demon, and if you end up getting this one, I think it's going to be really unfortunate. I really hope that's not the case, because that sounds pretty cringe to like just lose to a card because you got mana cheated out of your mind. But that's like the only real win condition I could see. I mean, a 6 mana 6/6 deal 6 to a minion on board is fine, and then you also get the mana reduction. I could maybe see this being played. I think there like might be like a big Demon Hunter deck. I don't play Demon Hunter at all, but if that's something you're going for and you're really excited for, I'm sure this might be the case. I guess it's also like makes Therion from Whizbang's Workshop like a lot better, but I don't know. I'm a little scared of mana cheating as always, right? Envoy of Prosperity, 2 mana 4/4 Battlecry. Put the highest cost card in your hand on the top of your deck. If you're playing Aggro Priest, this card's disgusting. I would play a 2 mana 4. Like, this reminds me of, what is that card called? The Bibliomatic from Nathria, which like I think it was a 2 mana 5/4 after the buffs, and you like picked a card to put in your deck. This one's interesting because you put the highest cost card on the top of your deck. So if you just need the tempo, this is probably okay. You're down one card, but the 2 mana 4/4 tempo could be insane. Also, it goes without saying, if you don't have any cards in your hand after you play this one, like there's not really a downside. You're playing a 2 mana 4/4. It's unlikely with an aggro deck you will get to that point, but I think in some situations this will be fine. There's also a real case for you to play it with like the big Demon Hunter deck, because there is potential for this to fit in those, because then you know what's at the top of your deck, so then you can use the card from Priest to make it cost 1. I don't know. There's probably some synergy. Cool idea. I'm not sure if we're really playing this for aggro. We'll have to wait and see, but 2 mana 4/4, Millhouse is probably crying himself to sleep because that's a much better card. Silvermoon brochure. Someone was making fun of me in the comments about how I say that, so now I got to be very specific on how I say it. 2 mana, give a minion immune this turn and +2/+2 for 2 mana. Damn, what's the other one? Silence a minion and give it -2/-2, flips each turn. Oh, I like the Gilneas one. That's kind of sick. Actually, both of these are pretty decent. The other ones I wasn't a huge fan of, but I think giving a minion immune is such a powerful thing, and Priest having it at 2 mana and potentially mana reducing it could be really, really strong. I could maybe see this at Priest. Actually, I think the Priest cards might be okay. Again, it depends if like there's actually like a real deck you can win with, but there's a lot of tools in here that could be useful. Job Shadower, I hardly know her. 3 mana 4/3 battlecry. If your hero took damage this turn, summon a copy of this. I mean, okay, so like this is what I mean. Like you play this card, you coin it into it, you deal 3 damage, and then all of a sudden you're summoning this much stats on turn 3. That's pretty ridiculous. You could also just not even play the weapon, then coin into a hero power, hit a minion, and then play both of these. If you can consistently get this off on turn 3, I think this card's going to be pretty decent. The real question is, how likely are you to do that? I'm not sure for either one of these classes. That's a lot of stats. What the fuck, bro? Hearthstone's really like, they're like, hey guys, like we're almost breaking the rules here, but we're going to keep it a little bit contained because you have to take damage this turn. Really interesting. I'm not sure how good this is, but I think like if you could consistently do it, it'll probably be okay. Carnivorous Cubicle. Oh my god. 5 mana 4/6 battle card, destroy a friendly minion, summon a copy of it at the end of your turns. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So comparatively to the old cube, Carnivorous, I guess they're both Carnivorous. One of them is a cubicle, the other one's a cube. The other cube was destroy a friendly minion, and then Death Rattle summon 2 copies of it. So this is a continuous effect that you... Wow, this is actually a really interesting card, because then you have to deal with this, but if you... Is this... I'm trying to think if this is better than other cube. I wonder how this works with Shutter Block. Like, I think if you eat a minion with Shutter Block, I think you actually summon 3 at the end of your turns. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how it interacts. I have no idea. Like, if you obviously get a really good minion, then your opponent has to deal with the minion, and they have to deal with the cube. Which means this could actually be really, really good. There's a ton of minions I can see this actually being played with. I kind of like this card. This is the first card where I'm like, damn, like I want to actually play with it. Because I'm not really sure if the other cards really spark joy, but this one sparks joy. I can see a bunch of different ways this can be utilized. This is cool in Death Knight. I mean, it's good in every class. I like the design of this card. I think it's really fun. If you get Silence, you're a bit sad, but that was the case with the other cube as well. Also, Doomguard isn't standard. So you can kind of relive the glory days, but the problem with Doomguard is that you don't have Skull Binari, so you have to find another way to cheat it out. Which I guess Nemsy could. Hold on, maybe we can make Cube Warlock a deck again. We'll definitely cook with this one in a minute. So this is kind of cool. All right, Busy Peon, 2 mana 2/3 Death Rattle. Your next location costs 2 less. So 0 mana 2/3 Death Rattle. I mean, would I play a 2 mana 2/3? Not really. So is this worth playing for tempo and then your next location costs 2 less? I actually think it is. It's good in Death Knight. It's really good with Prison of Yogg-Saron, the really expensive ones. I guess if there's any location that you really want to just cheat out earlier because it's so... Like, for instance, maybe this card is good with the Warlock one. Like, the Warlock one used to be 3 mana, used to be really, really good. They nerfed it to 4, and it's, like, really hard to utilize it because you have to play it before you play your Mountain Giant or your other card. So maybe you can play the location earlier. It feels good. I think this card's actually pretty decent. So a lot of locations to think about with this one, and there's a bunch of them that I actually think will be usable. It's really smart they made this a death model. I think this was a battle cry, it would be broken, but probably okay. In arena, it's probably pretty decent too. I like it. Mana cheating is usually pretty good, and this is like investing mana cheating early on for potentially a better card. I don't know if I really want to run this though. That's the problem. If you don't draw a location, like it feels bad. I'm iffy on it. I'm iffy on it. If it's consistent enough, it might be played. Handle with Bear. 2 mana for Druid. Here we go. Here's the good class. Get 2 3/3 bears with taunt. What do these look like? Okay. Each turn they're in your hand, they gain +1/+1. Oh, okay. So if you wait, how much mana is this? 3 mana? Start of your turn. If this is in your hand, gain +1/+1. So you play this on turn 2, potentially turn 1 if you're feeling a little spicy. Then it becomes a 3 mana 4/4, then a 3 mana 5/5. I don't know. I don't know what those noises were. I don't know about this one, Chief. That's really slow. And like, I don't think Druid really needs to be slower. They have such a good deck already. This feels awful. Maybe in Highlander. Like maybe in Highlander, I can see this being played. Who is the Druid tourist? It is, I don't even know. Oh, Mage. No, Mage got Druid, so it's Warrior. Warrior likes taunt stuff, kind of. I don't think this is playable. Maybe in Highlander. Maybe in Highlander. I can maybe, like, it's not, if Taunt Warrior exists, maybe, but playing for 2 mana do nothing doesn't sound great. I guess you get a lot of tempo the turn after, because like you'd be okay with playing a 3 mana 4/4 with taunt. Like if I could put Mish in 100, like I think I would. Maybe not currently though. Like earlier on I would have. I don't know. I don't really see it. I think it has potential, mate. Like if there's a taunt deck that really needs the extra taunt, sure, why not? I don't know. Number Cruncher. 4 mana 2/1 with rush and taunt, and then you choose thrice. Gain 2 attack or 2 health. And then it changes. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. Damn, I really like the art for this card. Okay, so like I get, so you get to choose twice. If you go, all right, so this is a Yeti with rush and taunt, right? If you go +1, if you get +2 attack and then +2 health twice, becomes a Yeti, and then you also have rush and taunt. Yeti is crying in the corner, and I feel bad for it. The real question is this actually good enough to see play in Druid? What wants this? I guess if you really needed to, you could make like a 4 mana 6/1 with rush and kill a minion. But again, it's like, what's the point? Doesn't feel like it's needed. Druid just does better stuff than this. In arena, it's probably okay. I don't personally see it. I don't know. I'm not sure about the Druid cards here. Doesn't seem that strong. Trust Fall. 4 mana, discover 2 minions that cost 5 or less. They gain each other's attack and health. Oh, that's kind of interesting. 4 mana. 5 or less. Oh, if only this was a shaman card, man. If this was a shaman card, there's a chance you get the hopper card, the 5 mana 10/10, and then you could just do some nasty stuff with it. Again, it's like 4 mana do nothing. And like, does Paladin really need that? I don't think Paladin really needs something like that. Who has Paladin? Is it Mage? Or is it Rogue? It's Mage, right? Mage has Paladin. I'm thinking, hold on. I think it's Mage. I'm pretty sure it's Mage. Does Mage want this? I don't even think Mage. I guess in theory, I was gonna say it's Spell Mage, but then you have to run Lanessa, or you have to run Rayla, and that doesn't sound very good. Arena card, probably. I don't know, unless I'm missing something insanely good with this, but I don't really see it. Interesting. I don't really understand the flavor of this card either, but maybe I'm stupid. Busy Bot, 2 mana 3/2 battle cry, give your 1 attack minions +1/+1. Absolutely fucking broken if it's played on turn 2. No, I'm just kidding. The thing about this is I believe Silverhand recruits are 1 mana. So that's immediately where my synergy goes. I'm not sure if there's like really a plan to go. I guess you could go, okay, you go mech turn 1, follow Busy Bot up. You have 2 mechs on board. You also buff the other one. Is that really that good though? This is a card that's interesting. Oh, it's 1 attack minions. I'm dumb. I'm gonna get a comment on this video saying like, oh, Rarran, you're stupid. It's fine. 1 attack minions. I mean, it still works with the Silverhand recruits. And some mechs. I just feel like Paladin has better stuff than this. Maybe. There's a really good aggro deck, maybe. But like, I don't think this really matters. Probably an arena card. Vacation Planning. 4 mana, restore for health, summon 3 Silverhand recruits, and draw 2 cards. Okay, now we're kind of here. Hold on. 4 mana to summon. Okay, so drawing, most of the time now, I think drawing cards is about 2.5 mana for drawing two cards. It feels like there's usually like an additional effect when it's now 3 mana draw 2. So we're spending 1 more mana to draw 2 cards, which isn't great. Paladin is not really known for its draw, so like this is fine. Restore 4 health. Okay. Summon 3 Silverhand recruits. It's like muster for battle, kind of. I guess it really in 4 mana is fine. Highlander probably wants to play this. I just don't know what deck wants this again for Paladin. Maybe like I think just Highlander, right? Flood Paladin doesn't really need this. Like you're not really want to spend 4 mana to summon 3 Silverhand recruits when you can just do it with muster. I guess you do draw 2 cards, but is that really that relevant? I think this card's good. I'm just not sure what it really needs to go in. It just does enough. And I think that's sometimes just fine to fill out your curve. I've noticed a lot of the cards in this mini set are just like fine. They don't really make an archetype. And then if you want the card, they're there, which I kind of like. Clumsy Steward. 3 mana 2/4. After any card is drawn, make it temporary. Discard at the end of your turn. When did they make this a keyword? I guess they did with the gifts. After any card is drawn, make it temporary. I hate this card, actually, to be honest. I don't know why you would want this ever in your life. Why would I ever want to play this? The only class that likes this card is probably Warlock. So if you're any other class, you're not running this card. And if you're any other class and this card is discovered, you're probably upset. I hate this card. I think it's horribly designed. Actually, I don't know about horribly designed. I can see the use case for it, but like I think this card often makes for really poor experiences, and I'm not sure if that's what we really want in Hearthstone. I'm just trying to understand, like, I guess what this card can do is stop combo decks from really existing. If it's a deck that like really wants to draw a ton to set up their combo, you play this card and then they have to delay it. I'm not a huge fan of this card. I don't really think it's needed in the game, but I hope I'm wrong. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. Fine print. Okay, now we're going to the good class, which is Warlock. 4 mana, deal 4 damage to all minions. Excess damage hits your hero's shadow. 4 mana to deal 4 to everything is, I think most of us would consider a pretty good AoE clear if you needed that. The problem is this can actually hurt you a lot. I do believe that the damage happens all in one instance, so if you do have the harp, you're fine. I'm not sure about the Void Virtuoso because it dies with the board, but I think this is okay. I'm not really sure why. Like, it's interesting because Hellfire is the same thing, but it's 3 mana and you don't get the excess damage to your face. So like, this is 1 more mana for what reason? Maybe like Demon Seed and Wild wants this. Again, I'm not really seeing what what deck wants this, because you're not going to put this in self-damage Warlock because you want to summon minions. You don't want to kill your own. And then this doesn't go into, what is it? Insanity, because Crescendo is just a better version of this, like almost all of the time. Maybe like in some kind of like handlock, this is fine. I don't see it. I'm not here for it. I think the card's cool. I think the flavor of this card, again, whoever designs the Warlock cards currently in the Hearthstone team, it does such a good job with flavor, but I just don't see it. Deadline, 2 mana, shadow spell, tradable, temporary, destroy minion. This is like, again, flavor, immaculate in this card. Immaculate. Actually, okay, hold on a second. This card's actually pretty good, isn't it? 2 mana, you draw this turn 1, you just trade it. If you draw this later in the game, you don't need it, you trade it. But like 2 mana to have a spot removal seems really strong. Warlock hasn't had spot removal like this in a while, if ever. I like this card a lot. It's cool. It's cool in a lot of decks. The flavor of this card is beautiful, man. It's so good. I love it. This card's good. I believe this card's very strong. Will be played. Rarran guarantee. Travel Security. 6 mana 2/2 taunt death rattle. Summon a random 8-cost minion. It's an undead. I always gotta remember undead matters so much more in like Death Knight than any other class. Summon a random 8-cost minion. I would actually have like we're gonna have to go see this real fast. 8-cost minions. Card type is a minion. Let me see what we can cook with. That's fine. Wait, it's any card, right? Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I shouldn't have done it like this. I gotta remember. Any 8 cost minion. Okay, so that means that this is good. This is fine. This is great. Bad. Good. Good. Bad. 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 Depending. Bad. Okay. I mean, you're getting a lot of stats. Like, this is fine. I don't think you get Titans off these, so we got to ignore those. This is great. There's like, again, it's pretty on average. Like, I don't think you really care for the stats. Like, it might be relevant, but for the most part here, like, there's a couple really good minions to get from that, which makes me a little concerned, to say the least. I don't think it's very good, though. I think, like, where you're gonna really see this card is from, I can't remember its name. It's something Geist, I think, that reduces the cost of an undead based on that minion's attack. I think that's where you'll probably start to see it. But I don't think this is very good. Well, hold on. I guess with they have like an undead buff package currently. Maybe that's the play because it does have taunt. But I mean, we've had so many cards like this before, and I feel like they just never really see play. But like, maybe just having an undead version of it makes it that much better. I don't know. There's a lot of really good high rolls here. It's interesting. Soul Searching, 2 mana, 2 unholy. Discover a card from your deck. Spend 5 corpses to summon a card or to get a copy of it. Insanely good. Sucks that it's 2 unholy, but I understand why they have to do it like that, because I think if you gave that to maybe Frost or Blood, actually, could be great. We've seen like Shadow Vision see play. We've seen like a lot of the versions of this just get played. I think this is a very strong card. Druid's had a couple of these for sure. Like Moonlight Guidance is very, very strong. It's not that difficult to get 5 corpses. I think it's very good. I'm a huge fan of it. This might be the best card I've seen, to be honest. And that's saying something about this mini set. I'm not sure. Eternal Layover. What the hell is this art? Who's that guy? 4 mana, 1 unholy. Give all minions reborn to destroy all minions. Whoa. Wait, that's kind of sick. Don't know what the use case of this is, but that's pretty cool. It's really cool with Titans. Like if you play the Primus, do its effect, and then you do this. Because now you have a reason actually on, is it turn 10? You can go, maybe turn 9. You can play the Primus, play Frost, then reborn it to play like Blood. That's like an interesting thing. I guess it's also really good with like a minion like this. I love the design of that. That's really cool. But I don't know if it's good. Like my problem with this set, I feel like, is just there's so much like meh that probably, I guess that's what mini sets often do, is just like, it's kind of just to help supporting archetypes maybe develop a new one if a card's just egregious enough. Like if we're thinking about Whizbang, right? Dorian was like the real poppin' card there, as far as I remember. I can't remember anything. I think it's fine, this mini set. I think you should definitely buy it, but I'm not sure what the power level of these cards will be. Let me know what you guys think. I actually have no idea how to rate this set. It's very interesting. I'm so used to like Hearthstone expansions being like objectively like broken. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Mini sets tomorrow. I will be streaming. Come check it out.